Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.
David G. is our Director of Global Security. He is also the voice, the face you see over at toolschool.com and the Tool School Insta page. And he is our not only Director of Global Security, but our very own curmudgeon and just a pissed off old man in general. Is that about right?
Well, on that note, my VA stuff. So I am a disabled veteran, and so I deal with the VA. And so I had to go through a couple of giant hurdles, jump over a couple of giant hurdles. And as you say, smiling voice. So
Yes.
in a smiling voice, as I'm trying to beat down these walls and talk about the actual problems or solutions, I would say, you know what? You guys you're doing a good job. I'm not talking about you, but I can see why veterans kill themselves.
Oh, wow.
And I was being completely honest, but I can
What'd they
see
say?
why, because and it got some results, but I was being completely candid because people that don't have my stubbornness, my ability to deal with adversity, those poor
Your lack of a filter?
Did I say a bad word? Those men and women who aren't as mean as me are just frankly they go and they quit and they stop, and the VA system defeats them, and it's not their fault because it should be the ones trying to help. And I've gone through that, and I've said, you know what? I can see why that happens every day. So it's personal for me. And
it makes me sick when I hear the stories that you tell about that the VA, because people like you and people like Ron who have served the country and deserve the utmost care, health care. When you all get shafted the way you do at the VA, which is a giant shithole. I've seen. I know of many people who are now dead who used to go to the VA, and it just makes me sick. It really does.
In my opinion, the VA should be run and operated by veterans. Period.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yes, qualified veterans. Not because because you're a veteran doesn't mean you're it does not mean you're going to be good at running a hospital, but qualified veterans who have that ability.
Well, we can hire people whose qualifications are having their nads chopped off and shoved up in their body. That's their primary qualification. How about we have people who run the VA have to be veterans? I mean, how about something?
Yes, I have absolutely. Yeah, no problem with that. I mean, I think that's a great idea.
You don't get the interview unless you've honorably discharged. So yeah.
And by the way, when you mentioned your disability, I just being retarded is now a disability. Do they?
Oh man,
is that your
heck yeah? That's like number one. That's right on the card. The retarded.
Did you hear KJP? By the way, we'll get to the Instagram stuff here in a second. Did you hear what Corinne Jean-Pierre said?
I can't listen to her much anymore. She's so dumb.
Oh, hang on. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. We'll promise we'll get to the in just a second. But and also in the next half hour of the program, that's our giveaway. So if you've signed up to be in the Insider Club, it's too late to do it right now. But if you'd signed up, like I told you yesterday, we'll give you instructions on how to win some Make America or Make Honey Great Again in the next half hour. First, though, so that Dave can hear Corinne Jean-Pierre, and I want to get your reaction to this. This is what she said.
A year in this role, there's been a couple of things that has made me incredibly proud. Many things that made me incredibly proud to be at that podium during this historic moment. Again, this is a historic administration. I'm a historic figure, and I certainly walk in history every day.
I am a historic figure.
Oh yeah, what was it? Just a couple of weeks ago when she said, "I'm the first queer something or other press secretary." Yada yada. I'm like, that makes you special? No, it doesn't. And that's, even those that are middle of the road, trying to be nice, trying to be pleasant, have got to pull their heads out of the sand. This is an evil setup. These people are just evil.
All right. Without further ado, don't want to steal your thunder. We now present to you the things that David G learned from Instagram, and I just a little behind the scenes here. I'm starting with the first one that you sent me, so in reverse order. The
I'm
last
trying
one you
to
sent
do
me is going to be
better.
the last.
Yes,
I'm just
that's
telling you
what
how
think
I did
we-
it. So.
We agreed on.
All right, here we and this is the pronunciation of a name. So, anything you want?
I have to see the picture. I have to see the picture. Oh, so
Right there.
I am trying. I am trying to start out with a smile, with a bit of humor, and some illumination.
This will get us all thinking this morning. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
you ready?
Listen carefully
Here
to
we
the
go.
voices, though.
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
The three variant. The three variant.
The variant.
The third. The third.
The variant. The variant.
The third variant.
Travion.
The Travion.
The
The Travion. The Travion.
The Travion.
Travion. The Travion.
The Trayvon.
The Travion.
That, for those of you listening to the podcast, where they are trying to pronounce a name on one of those signs you put in the front yard where you say, "Hey, I've got a graduate this year," and the person's name is on it, and it's spelled DA3 VARION. It's like, what the actual?
Don't forget the apostrophe.
Yeah.
Sorry,
DA apostrophe.
apostrophe 3 VARION. What?
The
if you listen carefully-
Travarian.
If you listen carefully, at least one, possibly two of this dudes speaking are black. They're making fun of it. So it's not a black thing. It's like they're making fun of that. Can you imagine those parents? So
How do you know they were black?
because you can hear a Southern accent, you
Oh,
can
can
hear
you?
a Boston accent, you can hear someone. So my point is, it's probably now 30 years ago, there was a Jerry Springer show, and Jerry Springer had a mom on the show, and it was about naming your kids, and the kids' names were Lamangelo and Laurangelo. I'll let you guess the ethnicity of the woman. And how did you
Italian.
get your how did you get the names of your kids? Can you guess?
Are you sure that's
Laurangelo-
not an urban legend? An urban legend?
Lemon jello
You know,
and orange jello.
Yep.
Yes.
And on the show, look. So, all right, I'm just telling you, that's
You know what?
That's the show.
There's nothing wrong with naming your kids after a tasty snack.
yes, 3 Varion.
By the way, Ron, would you let our intern Urethra know she doesn't have to come in tomorrow?
Okay.
come out.
All right.
Yeah,
Just
what's the
whatever.
next one?
All right. Next up is I don't know. What are these guys talking about?
Because I like examples, and Instagram gives some visual examples. If I don't care who you like, who you vote for, who whatever, but you have to admit some certain things. You have to admit the reality of what we're dealing with now and what we had before. That's my intro.
Right. Except that this is nothing but music, I think. So there's nothing that we can play that it's a visual.
There's
Is it
no
not?
What do you mean there's no video?
No.
Did
It's
you
a
break it?
visual. I said it's a visual because
There's
I think
no-
it's just a song.
I'm
It's a song,
sorry.
is it not?
No, it's a video.
It's just okay, but what you have
said
you have to
wrong.
tell us what it is we're seeing.
Oh, so what we're seeing right there, this
Yes.
is Trump on one hand, Sloppy
For
Joe
those
on
of you
the
listening to the podcast,
other.
what we're seeing
it's my
are a bunch
fault.
of snappily dressed. I'm not
All
throwing
right.
any shade your way. I'm simply
Yes,
trying
it's
to
my
give
fault.
the
I
listeners a benefit. I know it's your fault,
I
but I
forget
don't
that
want
there's
to appear
only
that I'm
people that-
blaming you.
I forget that there are people who don't have enough money to have video who are involved, like your show. Can you people?
Well, what
for
about all
God's
those
sake,
people
get
driving
video?
in their car that are just listening to the podcast? I mean,
Go
you've
home
gotta-
and watch the show. Yeah, it's my fault. I should
good-
have. I should
good
have
advice.
paid attention.
essentially the difference between what we've got or what we had during the Trump administration and during many administrations, quite frankly, I think was the Clintons that broke the system when it came to this. Because remember how they all came dressed in sweatpants?
But what this does is it shows Trump at I think it's at a G8 meeting or something, and he pushes right up to the front. They're doing the press.
Right.
And
Yeah.
He goes right up to the front and he goes, "Hey," and then you've got Sloppy Joe in a mask where he does not know where he is. You can clearly see
you're right.
He is
You're right.
clueless, and he doesn't. And it's
You are
happened
right.
time and time again. So anyway,
Did you ever watch Tucker on Twitter? Did you watch the Tucker on Twitter, the one about the Biden being a wannabe dictator?
That day we talked, you said it. I probably did not.
You've not seen any of them, have you? There are 5 episodes
I've
of
seen
now
some.
Tucker on Twitter. All right.
I have seen some of them, but I don't have a Twitter account, so I have to go find it and you send it the link or something. But
I did send a link, but he went into the fact that he, being a dictator, you cannot, you can't criticize the commander in chief for being feeble and frail because they will come after you. That things like that only happen in a dictatorship. But Biden is not a dictator by any stretch of the imagination because you can criticize him all day long. All right, up next, the Texas conservatives.
So I really try and pay attention to this Texas stuff because the 3 of us live in Texas. And this Texas scorecard is a very, very good resource for Texans to figure out what's going on with the legislature, school systems, and the like. And so they put out a lot of good information. Again, I stepped on it. This is just a visual.
Yes, it is. So for those of you who are in your car or just listening to the podcast because you're too damn cheap to have video, Dave will now explain exactly what he's talking about. Go.
So I send this stuff late at night on Tuesday, and sometimes I'm not thinking straight. And this is just the amount of just drunk. There's a number of bills, conservative bills, that the Texas House killed the bills. And whether you like it or not, we're going to a place where the lefties are, and I mean the leftists, the ones you can't speak with, the ones you can't bargain with, are going to turn this once proud state into San Francisco. So it just shows the number of bills. So yeah, but
lefties are
the
winning.
Point is, Texas,
let's be plain.
They have a better methodology than we do. But Texas Scorecard on Instagram, if you live in Texas or have any plans to live in Texas, know somebody in Texas, it's a good portal for information. So, let's get to a fun one that I didn't screw up.
Okay. A fun one is, hang on a second. I'll tell you. Don't take it yet, Ron. Ron, don't take it yet. I'm not there yet.
Take it.
This one I thought was actually really good. And here's the weird part about it. This is your weatherman. Are you anything you want to say before I hit play?
So just pay attention to what he says. For those of you just listening, this is a weatherman on the West Coast or just inland on the West. And he's talking about the weather forecast, and he's showing a visual of the rain patterns and the cloud and the radar, and then listen to what he says. Go.
And pay particular attention to his words.
Telling you for the past 2 weeks now, they're doing military exercises out there, and although it looks like rain, it's not. Showers here are.
All right, so that was the key. The showers off the coast of California. It looks like rain off the coast of California, but it's not. They're doing military exercises out there. All right, what's your take on it? Did you look it up? Did you look into it?
I never fact check anything. That's what.
Well, but at least I would have thought you would have wanted to know what it was he was talking about.
I did. I figured you would do it because that stuff interests you more.
He did.
Thank you. So apparently, this has happened more than once. He's not the only weather person to say this. And if you go to, well, all you have to do is put in meteorologist or weatherman, military exercises, rain, and you'll come up with these theories that they are, and these meteorologists are saying that they are spraying chaff into the air during these military exercises, that they're dropping chaff, and that's showing up on the radar as rain, which is kind of freaking weird. And here's something even weirder. He's not the only one to have said that. This is, I don't know what year this was, but listen to this bad boy.
In the morning hours, a couple of showers as well, but nothing like what they're getting in the eastern half of the U.S. As you can see, we've got rain and snow stretching from the Great Lakes all the way down to Florida, at times creating some major problems. This is the same line of action that blew trucks off the freeways yesterday in Iowa, created some downed trees. We had hail from pea to golf ball size throughout much of the upper Midwest Plains states, and of course it's still going on. Our fear is that rain in New England could create flooding issues yet again, frost issues throughout the region. So folks in the orchard industry, even backyard gardeners, should take care of their plants. You can see scattered showers still showing up on the Pacific Northwest radar throughout the region. The heaviest, and of course, well to our north. Here in Southern Oregon and Northern California, we've got a bit of an unusual situation. Now, this first portion of the radar cycle, fairly bland and typical, but then you see these bands of very distinct cloud cover moving into the region. That is not rain, that is not snow. Believe it or not, military aircraft flying through the region is dropping chaff. Small bits of aluminum, sometimes it's made of plastic, or even metallicized paper products, but it's used as an anti-radar issue, and obviously they're up there practicing. Now, they won't confirm that.
Okay, how weird is that? That is from 2010.
Yeah, the amount.
That's from 13 years ago. What in the hell are they talking about?
What now? Well, what they're talking about is that those are defensive maneuvers. So when you're doing it, I get to do my Top Gun thing. When you're flying in a military
for those of you
aircraft,
listening to the podcast, he just did something weird with his hands. I don't know what the hell it was, but apparently it's a Top Gun thing. All right.
There I was. Guns, missiles, ting, 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 ting. So for defensive maneuvers, what they'll do is they will take evasive action and then shoot out these canisters of metallicized paper, aluminum. I don't think it's plastic, but it's radar fooling. So what you do is you shoot it off, and the incoming missiles will see that as a solid object. I didn't blow off the orchard or whatever that was. But they will see that as a solid object. But it would have to be, I think, an incredible amount from 1 or 2 or even 10 aircraft to show up on weather radar. I don't buy it.
It does seem a bit odd.
Because I've seen it. You'll see it. You'll see them if you look at a video. You'll see a plane do this. It'll be flying along, and then it'll really take a tight turn, and you'll see
make the noise when you
come
do
out.
It. Make the noise when you say it. Make the noise when you say it.
Pew 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 pew.
Okay, got it.
That's a gun.
Now
but yeah, so that's what chaff is. But you can seed clouds with chaff also.
So that's weird. That's weird. And that's why would they be doing that over the Pacific off the coast of California? I guess for the same reason they'd be doing it over Wyoming or wherever, just because they want to see if it works in both places, right? I guess so.
Yeah, but that seems massive. If you can see it on a radar like that, there's a huge number. Right. That's not coming from a couple of aircraft doing maneuvers over 29 Palms or Barstow. I mean, that's a huge deal.
So they are cloud seeding, and we're getting. This is just. It's funny how what were once conspiracy theories are, now like legit stuff.
Crazy,
it's kind of weird. All right, so we've got we got time for the fetus one, the clump cells. I like this one. So, anything you want to start or add to it?
Yeah. Believe it or not, I try and make these educational. One is to be able to give people information, then they can fight back.
Sorry, the studio audience.
Have them quiet down. You shut your
I
mouth
know,
when you're
it's
talking to me.
It's Ron. I know.
It's to be able to talk to people who are the crazies, to be able to shut them down, or at least have a fair fight. And when you go, oh,
And here we
okay,
go. In
how
3,
about
2,
this?
1.
Like when I do this, you know, these are somatic cells that I'm hurling all over the sidewalk, kind of disgusting. They're invisible, but they have my DNA in them. They're called somatic cells. So that's part of me, correct? That's a cell.
Correct.
Did I just commit mass homicide?
No.
Nobody thinks that because why? They recognize at a gut level, like I said, whether they can put language to it or not, the difference between parts and wholes.
Yes, but I guess
I'm the whole human being. I'm the whole human being. The cells are part of me. The cells are not a person. Me, my name's Seth, I'm the person, right? The same is true of all human beings from the moment they come into existence. From the moment of conception, there's a distinct living and whole human being. And by the way, this is fascinating. Almost every biology or embryology textbook on almost any university campus in America today uses those terms, that the baby is distinct because it's separate from other different DNA, different blood type, whatever. Living, it's not dead, it's developing itself. And whole, meaning that the child has everything they need at the moment of conception to realize their future development as a participating member of the human species. Similarly, an infant, not like a teenager, but the infant has what? Everything they need at that infant stage to realize their future teenage self. They just need time.
I thought this was a brilliant discussion or way of explaining human development. Whatever side of the abortion issue you come down on, this is a brilliant way of. It's a well thought out, a reasoned argument.
See, I do throw in some good stuff along with the trash.
Your
Every
wife
once
found
in a
this
while.
one, didn't she?
No, she does not look. She
it-
mocks me. Are you on Instagram again? It's Brad's fault. Brad made me do it.